A federal judge has temporarily paused the Trump administration's midnight deadline for federal workers to accept a deferred resignation. He's set a hearing on Monday to hear arguments on the issue. Let's bring in our reporter panel, Sophia Cai and Molly Ball. Sophia is a White House reporter for Politico and the author of West Wing Playbook, so she's awfully busy these days. And Molly is a senior political correspondent for the Wall Street Journal and also the co-host of the Trump 2.0 podcast from the Wall Street Journal. Also extremely busy these days. Welcome to both of you. I want to talk about messaging power in the new Washington that we all find ourselves in. And Molly, I guess I'll start with you in this article that you just put out last week that was fascinating. The headline, Democrats have a new leader, but haven't come to grips with failure. What did you mean by that?
Well, I went and reported on the DNC meeting where they selected a new head of the Democratic National Committee. And, you know, I'm not breaking any news by saying that the Democrats are a bit demoralized after what happened to them in November. But it is really striking the degree to which they seem to be sort of repeating the same patterns that got them to this point. Rather than really changing any of the messaging that resulted in the loss in November. You know, a lot of Democratic activists, rank and file Democrats out there in America are deeply frustrated with the Democratic Party. They feel like it's not in shape to win back power. And Democrats are in a tough spot, right? They are locked out of power in Washington. We see them trying to respond to this blitz of activity from the Trump administration. And there isn't that much more they can do. But I think there is still a deep frustration out there among their base that there isn't more that they are doing to try to fight back.
Sophia, is there a sense that because there isn't much they can do, as Molly points out, that they need to have at the very least a grade A messaging operation to respond to this blizzard of executive orders coming out of the White House? And are they getting any better at it as the weeks have gone on?
You know, I think that if you talk to a lot of Democratic operatives, whether they're Biden folks, a lot of people say, look, like, we've got to get off of the couch and stop moping around. And there really seems to be a real vacuum when it comes to messaging. I think there's individuals coming up here and there to propose ideas, but I don't know if, you know, Democrats have really united around a single issue, a single kind of messaging. I mean, even in terms of confirmations, Republicans were very cognizant that they didn't need any Democratic votes. And that is just the reality. Who's the leader here that is setting the tone for Democrats? Is it the new chair of the DNC? Is it Chuck Schumer? Is it Hakeem Jeffries? Who is it?
I think that's part of the problem, is you can't really look to any one person right now and say that person is speaking for, you know, all of the Democrats. You know, you have California Governor Gavin Newsom was here in Washington this week. He's someone that a lot of people are hoping can help lead the fight. Other potential presidential candidates, governors in different states, the leaders in Congress, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, are not regarded as particularly effective in this vein. You know, and part of it is just that everything's happening so fast. They'll schedule a press conference to respond to something that Trump and Elon Musk are doing, and by the time they get up there to talk about it, it's over and we've moved on to something else, or a judge has blocked it and something else, some new outrage has come up. So it's been hard for them to keep up, and of course that is part of the strategy. And there are some Democrats who hope that, you know, some of what Trump is doing is just going to end up burning so much political capital that it blows back on him, and there's a natural public backlash. And we do see Trump's approval rating starting to decline from the point it was at the inauguration. But for so many rank and file Democrats, that kind of passivity just is not enough in the face of what they see happening.
And it frustrates and demoralizes their supporters. Sophia, you wrote this week about Charlie Kirk, who, you know, has 25 million followers online, had this rise from being a body man for President Trump to now being someone who's almost ubiquitous. And you talk about the fact that he has gained a tremendous amount of power in a very short period of time. In fact, you said he's third in line after Donald Trump and Elon Musk, at least when it comes to messaging for this new administration.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think for a long time we saw Turning Point and Charlie Kirk as like all the way over here. And now, if you really look at it, he's extremely close to J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance first guest on Air Force Two. He was at the White House in the first week. He was an unofficial back channel for the TikTok and Trump team negotiations when that was going on, before and after the inauguration. And he has really transformed his social influence into real political power because of how close he is to the nerve center of the current Trump White House, which includes people like Stephen Miller, people like Taylor Buttigieg, people like Sergio Gore. I mean, these people are all in like this next generation of MAGA and people who are running things behind the scenes. And that now also includes Charlie Kirk on the outside.
Yeah, yet another example of how if you can control the message, you've got a lot of access to power. Sophia Cai, Molly Ball, thank you both for being here. I appreciate it.